been a minute since I've had an opportunity to talk about any of this stuff specifically, mostly because the last time that I talked about it, the video got taken down on YouTube and I ended up catching a fucking strike for a minute, and I'm just on the precipice of being able to be rid of that strike, but I just figured, hey, for completion's sake, and we talked about the audit at the time, and now that we're starting to get maybe a little bit more of a clearer picture, and the fact that there's going to be a big old election here in November, for completion's sake, we might as well talk about this. I'm going to try to skirt the line as best as I can, and if I can't, well, fuck it. It'll still be up on Rumble and Odyssey. 19,000 late invalid ballots were counted in Arizona. Interesting. What exactly do you mean by that? And with the 2022 midterm elections around the corner, scrutiny of the 2020 election continues to raise questions about election integrity, including a newly identified anomaly in Maricopa County, Arizona. It's almost like there was a big old audit that if people could have got past the first page, okay, it's almost like they already told that and mentioned all of that stuff, and now this is finally coming to light. Like, what the fuck? Arizona law requires that to be considered valid, ballots must be received by the county no later than 7 p.m. on election day. What was that? November 3rd or 4th? I forget when election. That was almost 2 fucking years ago at this point. But newly uncovered records documenting the Maricopa County 2020 general election shows that while more than 20,000 ballots were transported from the U.S. Postal Service after Election Day. It seems like a problem. How long did the count in Arizona last for? I'm just thinking. Anyways, after Election Day, okay, Maricopa County only rejected 934 late ballots. Don't know who exactly they voted for or which ones they rejected, but questions abound. Ballots in the early voting rejections, a summary document. All right, that means more than 19,000 late invalid ballots should have been rejected. No, exactly. Why is that significant? Because the final difference between the two major candidates, and we're never going to know exactly. The only people who know are the people who have the ballots in this instance. In this instance, the late ballots, and not saying one way or another who all of those ballots, and I'm sure it was probably a mix of people, if they were in fact real people, who they voted for one way or another, or it could have been like other precincts that just counted ballots who just only had one candidate marked off and nobody else on it, and just fucking weird how that stuff happens. But anyways, no. There's no way to know who voted for what, and if it would have ended up swaying anything, but the final margin of victory in Arizona, if you do recall, was 10,457 votes. 19,000 late and invalid ballots. 10,457 votes. Don't know which way those would have broke, but yeah, you don't know which way it would have broke. It is impossible to know. The results would have been different if the late ballots had not been counted in Maricopa County. No, yeah, exactly. We'll never know. Just open to speculate. The early voting rejection summary is just one of the documents telling the story. County documents were obtained by Verity Vote, a group of citizen volunteers with data research and investigation backgrounds who have been investigating the 2020 election results throughout the country. Verity Vote recently released a report detailing this investigation. Link to that report is right there. So, why were they late? Were these lawful ballots that just slipped through the cracks from the U.S. Postal Service? That's possible, because the Postal Service, after all, and I understand that I'm talking from Canada here, but it's a garbage platform, and it sucks, and it's done better by literally every other private carrier that's out there. To understand the anomaly, it is important to know how ballots are moved in Maricopa County, which uses drop boxes and early mail-in voting. I wish that all of it, not just drop boxes, okay, I wish it all would just be fucking done away with, that there should just be a national day for voting. You turn up, and then outside of rare and extreme circumstances, that's the only time that you have a chain of command to deliver a ballot. You sign it, and it's tracked from point A to point B, and then back from point B to point A. That's it. That's all. For overseas service members and very, very, very rare circumstances, not just people I don't want to go to the polling booth. A truck driven by Maricopa County Elections Department employee picks up the ballots at least once a day. Oh, that's nice. They just stop by a drop box box, not like they're, properly surveillanced or anything like that. And they'll just, turn up in a truck. That's great. Just throw them in the back and whatever flies out, yeah, that's fine. A collection truck starts at Maricopa County Tabulation and Election Center. The truck has some space for more ballots, but it is already loaded with some early in-person ballots, and ballots are replaced in drop boxes. The driver goes to the post office and picks up more ballots. This sounds like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Okay. Then takes the truck to Runbeck Election Services, where all ballots are given an incoming scan. Here it is at the scan. At the inbound receipt of delivery document is generated. The receipt of delivery shows the date, time, the names of the employees delivering and receiving the ballots, and it itemizes the number of ballots that came from the post office, drop boxes, and early in-person voting. In response to some documents requests, Maricopa County made the receipt of delivery documents available for public inspection for dates spanning October 13th to November 6th. November 6th, huh? That's weird. From that collection of documents, Verity Vote noticed that documents from November 4th, 2020, a day after the elections, were missing. Huh. Verity Vote requested Maricopa County provide the receipt of delivery for that day, but I'd imagine they probably fought that tooth and nail. First with a few phone calls, then with a written request, and then did you have to subpoena, and then they fought the subpoena, and then eventually got them, because that's kind of their style. So, yeah. Oh, it should have been a simple request because all the other data, or the dates were already public, but this request went to a county attorney. Yeah, no shit. After numerous delays, multiple follow-up emails, phone calls, and county employees informed Verity Vote that the records were the legal counsel pending review. Oh, how nice. 18 months after the fact? Interesting. The report says it took nearly 7 months to get the documents. November 4th, receipt of delivery shows 18,000 ballots were picked up from the post office a day after the November 3rd election. Huh? What? A form has 3 colors of ink. Runbeck Election Services employees printed his the first name only, Brandon, in blue. Get the fuck out of here. Really? On ballots, Brandon. Really? Okay. Ballots arrived at 9:30 on 11/4/20, and the paper is signed in the same blue ink by the receiver, but the signature is illegible. Huh. Oh boy, let's go Brandon indeed. Row listed as late should have shown that many ballots are late. The 4 columns are now late. Late rows have the numbers in blue ink and scribbled over and cannot be read. Another signature scrawled in red ink is also illegible. I don't know why that's tough to say. It denotes the person who delivered the ballots. All right, all of this just sounds contemporaneous, but let's continue. Even though the document is dated November 4th, one day after the election, at the top of the page above the margins, someone has written Election Day in black ink. Fucking hell, I'm just waiting for somebody to write in highlighter at this point, because we got red ink, blue ink, and now black ink. The fuck is going on? And what looks like different handwriting than the rest of the page. Okay, they just might have multiple personalities, and everybody decided to fill out the ballot. Don't worry about it. The county also documents receiving 1,000 ballots on November 5th, 1,500 on the 6th, combined with the 18,000 ballots found on November 4th. The total documented late ballots were 20,500. And what was the margin of victory? Anyways, a letter from County Recorder Stephen Richer, responded to Verity Vote's document request, indicating that November 4th receipt the county provided is not the only receipt of 4 ballots the county received that day. Oh my god, this document does not represent the complete universe of Maricopa County inbound receipt delivery from November 4th, 2020. Wait, so it's even worse than that? What are we doing here? It cannot be certain, but we believe that the remainder of these forms were transferred to the treasurer's office to be stored and sealed with ballots. Oh, okay, cool. Well, it's stored and sealed. We don't have to look at it. That's all right. Just trust the government. They have your best intentions in mind. If so, it indicates there are more mailed ballots that were not counted in early voting rejection summary and presumably would have been counted in the results. Yeah, we might have been able to do that, but things got messed up somewhere along the way. Another anomaly on the number of ballots collected November 4th compared to other surrounding days. Voters were instructed by mail ballots by October 27th to make sure their ballots arrived on time. By October 30th, the number of ballots coming by mail dropped sharply, but then spiked a day after the election. On October 28th, the county received 58,500 ballots from the post office. Then, as it follows, okay, so October 29th, 14,500. Okay, so people, 2 days local mail. That makes sense. Okay, and then on the 30th, they received 10,500. That's fine. Okay, October 31st, 6,000. So it really starts to taper off. All of that's fine. Yeah, you know what? You would expect all of that stuff. And then November 2nd, 1,000, and then November 3rd, so election day, 2,500. In order to be counted valid, the ballot must be received by the county no later than 7 p.m. All right, and then on November 4th, then 18,000. That's higher than any other single day indicated there, and a steep uptick even after the 28th, okay? And then November 5th, another 1,000, then November 6th, another 1,500, all of which are invalid. Yet Maricopa County rejected just 934 ballots for lateness. Yeah, and the overall rejection rate, even when doing the signature matches and then just making sure that they were valid ballots, the number, I forget it specifically, and it's pretty easy to look up, but the number of rejected ballots, that nationwide was down significantly than just any other regular election that was around there. They just let literally everything through, and it was all fine. Don't worry about it. It's just one election. Maricopa County responded to the Epoch Times request for comment with probably a lawsuit or something. Don't talk to anybody. Don't hassle us. We're busy concocting a scheme. Arizona has 11 electoral votes. The final tally, was a little bit higher than all that stuff, and the official records are at the National Archive, and that's all wonderful, and 2020 was totally legitimate, and Biden is simply the most popular president of all time. 81 million votes can't be wrong. Of course not, and I, for one, am like the guy in blue lettering who also decided that, yes, his voice deserved to be heard, and let's go Brandon indeed. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.